It seems like we've been seeing hordes of those cheap SUVs with Dacia badges on them for decades, but actually the first generation of the Dacia Duster was only revealed in 2010. It used the B0 platform, so basically it's just the Logan and Sandero converted to the SUV design, but 210mm of clearance and a lot of space inside made it extremely popular. It used a plethora of budget-friendly Renault engines. The most common were the 1.5-liter K9K diesel and the 1.6-liter petrol engine K4M, then the 2-liter petrol engine F4R, and also some markets got 1.2 and 1.3 liters TCE turbo engines. The vehicle was mainly sold with good and reliable 5 and 6-speed manual transmissions, but there were options like the 4-speed automatic transmission, the 6-speed dual clutch transmission called EDC, and then the CVT transmission for some markets. Jetco CVT is probably the worst choice in terms of durability. In 2013, the vehicle came through a very light facelift with basically no major changes. The first generation was selling up to 2017. Although Renault announced that the new Duster had all body panels new, an average customer wouldn't see a lot of a difference. The 2017 generation looked a little bit more up to date, but basically nothing changed in the exterior of the car. Also, this generation of the Duster was criticized for plagiarizing its rear lights from the Jeep Renegade. The interior got many more changes, and it actually was the key update. According to the reviews, Dacia Duster became very quiet inside thanks to a new approach to soundproofing. In terms of engines, we still see the 1.5-liter diesel K9K, the 1.6-liter petrol K4M, the 2.0-liter petrol for Asian markets, and also the 1.2-liter and 1.3-liter turbo engines. The vehicle didn't offer the 4-speed automatic transmission anymore, 5 and 6-speed manual were still there, and also the 6-speed EDC and the CVT transmissions were offered depending on the market. Among significant updates, starting with the 2017 model year, the Duster offers electric power steering. Also starting in 2018, you will need AdBlue to drive the diesel Duster, since the engine was updated to suit ecological requirements. In 2020, the Duster also got the 1.0-liter TCE engine that could run on LPG, pretty small yet reliable and with good torque. In 2021, the Duster went through a minor facelift that changed its lights and the front grille a little. Older engines were eliminated and the SUV only offered the small turbo TCE engines, an even smaller 1.0 LPG engine, and the 1.5-liter diesel K9K. In 2024, the Dacia Duster finally got the third generation. The change in the exterior design is significant, and the Duster finally gets normal door handles in its front doors and pretty inconvenient hidden handles for the rear doors. It still has pretty weird black plastic inserts on both sides. Rear lights are again the center of attention. The new interior of the Duster 2024 makes it look like pretty much all new cars. A big screen in the center console takes a lot of functions, so there are fewer physical buttons. First reviews tell us that the interior design looks pretty rugged, and reviewers can't tell us if it's good or bad. The biggest change is in the engines. Now you can't get a diesel-powered Duster anymore. The legendary K9K engine is retired for this model in Europe and is going to be available in Morocco only. One of the simplest options is the 1.0-liter TCE prepared for LPG. Then you also have a mild hybrid 1.2-liter TCE engine with an additional hybrid battery and start generator. And there is the full hybrid power plant based on the 1.6-liter H4M engine with the bigger lithium-ion battery pack and additional electric motor. This is not a plug-in hybrid, so you can't run on electric power only and you can't charge it. There is a 6-speed manual transmission and the EDC dual clutch transmission for the turbo engines, and also the 4-speed automatic for the 1.6-liter hybrid engine. Of course, Dacia also had to stuff the new Duster with all kinds of safety tech and driver aid systems, so you can expect to see all kinds of possible warnings and error messages on the beautiful new dash screen very often now. The scary thing is that the Duster still can't get out of the 3-star rating of Euro NCAP safety measurements. And the bad thing is that the driver's safety has got even worse than it was in previous generations, despite Dacia spending so much money on those electronic features and assists. I should point out though that the passenger and pedestrian safety has got a little better.